This is the Good Dog Literature Circle Review Lesson number 4. In today's lesson, we started with reviewing what good readers do. Good readers make mind movies from background knowledge and the author's powerful words. Good readers notice when their mind movie goes fuzzy or out of focus, and they know to use fix-up strategies to get the mind movie going again. Good readers also ask questions, both surface questions and deep questions. The surface question answers are visible. They're in the text. They're there to clarify, to clear up the fuzziness, or to get facts and details. The deep questions, the answers are buried. They help with deeper understanding, and you get to add on your own thinking. Just like the picture of this tree, the things above the surface questions, you can see it. They're visible. And that might be who, what, where, when. The deep questions, the ones that are buried, that get to deeper understanding, might include why, could, would, should, what if, and how. And that's how you get to the treasure of reading. Good readers also make inferences, or they infer meaning. They put together their background knowledge along with what they've read in the text to come up with an idea or a discovery that's bigger than the pieces. It's personal and unique. We practiced inferring by looking at these Far Side comics. We talked about what the clues were that we were looking at and how we put them together with our background knowledge to come up with the big idea or the meaning of the cartoon. Later in our lesson, we asked, how did we know what things were important enough to be clues and what things were unimportant in these pictures? This led into our next deep strategy. Determine importance. What matters most? Important versus unimportant things in the text. When you determine what's important, it will help you identify key ideas, like the topic and main ideas. It will also help you identify the themes or the larger ideas or the author's message. What is important changes with different things. It changes with your own background knowledge or schema. It changes with your opinions and values, and it changes with your purpose for reading. If you're reading a textbook to study for a test, it's totally different reading than if you're reading to escape or enjoy and laugh, or if you're just killing time reading a magazine at a checkout line. It's not always easy to determine what's important and what's unimportant, so I gave you some hints. There are 2 different kinds of hints, one for nonfiction reading and one for fiction reading. For nonfiction reading, like textbooks, read your questions first so you know what to look for. Search for new facts that aren't in your background knowledge yet. Be curious. And understand clues that are given to you from the layout or the structure of nonfiction writing. For example, in a textbook, you might see things like titles, headings, bold text, pictures with captions, graphs, maps, table of contents, glossary, index. All of these things are going to be clues as to what's important or give you an idea how to find things that are important in the text. Another set of hints for is it important comes with fiction reading. For fiction reading, like for the book The Good Dog, be curious. Have a deep question in mind while you're reading, and find clues that the author leaves for you. They'll let you know something is important sometimes by repeating it for emphasis. Maybe there are illustrations or diagrams in the book. Maybe they use symbolism, foreshadowing, character and setting prominence, or conflict to let you know something is important. You also need to understand the clues that are given to you from the layout or the structure of a story. You can see these in your story elements sheet and your story steps sheet. They include the setting, main characters, the main conflict, the main events, plot, climax, the resolution, and sometimes the author will give you the theme, but many times you have to figure that one out for yourself. We then had a chance to figure out what was important and unimportant in the book The Good Dog. We talked about the very beginning, how when Jack was having breakfast, that was unimportant to the storyline, but when he kept mentioning wolf, and McKinley kept picking up on the word, there's the word wolf again, that maybe wolf was important because of the repetition that the author used. After more examples of what was important versus unimportant in the text, we began to read chapter 12. We discovered that the word gun was used over and over. It was repeated many times by the author, so that gave us a clue that that was going to be very important to this chapter. We decided that the snakes thing wasn't important to moving our storyline along. We decided that the author was foreshadowing that McKinley was going to get shot. However, we revised that when we found out that McKinley was not close enough, and we revised it to think that Lupin was going to get shot. After more great conversation, deep questions and inferences, and determining what was important in the text, we reviewed what our homework was going to be for tonight. You'll be reading chapters 14 and 15. You'll do 1 orange, 1 blue, 1 green, 2 purple, and 1 index card. Write your surface question on one side and the deep question on the other side. Infer your answer to the deep question. Share it with a parent or friend or sibling. And the new thing is to take your 5 pink stickies and put them next to things that you think are important in the reading. Use your clue sheet that I gave you. And of course, remember that good readers make mind movies from their background knowledge and the author's powerful words. They notice when the movie goes fuzzy or out of focus, and they know to use fix-up strategy to get the mind movie going again. Good readers ask questions, both surface questions and deep questions. They infer, and what we learned today is that they determine importance, the important versus the unimportant. They have clues to help them with this. For fiction reading tonight for your homework, your clues or your hints of how to do this is to be curious, have a deep question in mind, use your clues from the author that are on your list, and understand the layout or the structure of a story, which again is on your list. Thanks for a great lesson. Thanks for a great day and your participation. I will see you on Thursday.